Many parents consider their children as their slaves, themselves become their god, whereas their children have a separate individual personality and identity. They have the full right to live their life. The duty of parents is to nurture them, well, until a certain age. Teach them the difference between right and wrong, so that when they grow up, they can make decisions about their life according to their own will and happiness. But parents do not give time to their children in childhood, and when their children grow up, they start imposing their own will and happiness on them. Children are the responsibility of parents, not property. No human being is the property of another human being. No human being is perfect. But parents consider themselves perfect in God and consider themselves the ruler and God of their children, because such parents are egoistic, and such parents, knowingly or unknowingly, treat their children very badly. They do not even apologize to their children because they feel ashamed to apologize, and their ego tells them that parents can never be wrong. Here, such parents distance their children from God because the child starts thinking that God does not love him. That's why he has got such parents. And God is not just who orders to obey parents, whereas parents can also be wrong, and in most cases, the poor child becomes emotionally vulnerable and broken, and loses his ability to distinguish between right and wrong, and suffers throughout his life. Parents do not have the right to transfer their generational traumas to their children. Indeed, parenthood is a big responsibility. Not every human being is actually human. Some are animals in human disguise, or those parents who do not consider themselves human. A human being who is made up of emotions, love, wisdom, and humility. They are not even capable of becoming parents when God creates every human being differently so that they can fulfill a unique purpose in life. But parents, under societal pressure, force their children to suppress their identity, whereas parents need to strengthen their connection with God first so that they can understand the meaning and purpose of their own existence and that of their children. No religion in the world gives parents the permission to oppress their children. After showing unconditional love and fulfilling your duties and responsibilities to the fullest, there's a 90% chance that your child will respect and love you automatically and be obedient to you. If they don't, then they are committing a big sin. Otherwise, you can't torture or mistreat your child to satisfy your own desires for happiness, respect, and obedience, especially when you yourself have made mistakes, because God is just and watches over everything. There's a disturbing trend where some parents use their sacrifices as a means to manipulate and control their children. Phrases like, "I gave up everything for you," or "I sacrificed my life for your happiness," can become tools of guilt tripping, making children feel indebted and obligated to reciprocate with obedience, loyalty, or even financial support. This behavior is not only unhealthy, but also damaging. Children should not be made to feel responsible for their parents' happiness or well-being. Parenting is an act of selfless love, not a transactional arrangement. True love and sacrifice do not come with expectations of reward or repayment. When parents use their sacrifices as leverage, they create a toxic dynamic that can lead to anxiety, depression, and strained relationships. Children deserve to be loved unconditionally, without the burden of repaying their parents for the sacrifices they made. It's time for parents to reevaluate their motivations and prioritize their children's emotional well-being over their own need for validation.